Right, stable chat, getting out and about. Through these winter months, I'm going to start calling into plenty of random stables, but this one's a bit different. Tony Chibnall joins me here in sunny Chibnall. Hello, Tony.
Hello, Paulie. How are you?
I'm very, very well. A bit tongue-in-cheek saying sunny. It's about 4:30, 4:45 here today, but it does get a bit dark here in Chibnall. But I was just over actually having a look at the new shed. It's pretty exciting here for the Chibnall Racing Club, isn't it?
Yeah. I can't wait to get in there.
I bet you can't. At the minute, I suppose it's one of the problems with training on the premises. Sometimes when they are doing these buildings, but eventually it's something to look forward to. That's for sure, and it won't be far away.
It's going to be fantastic when it's done. Yeah. The waiting's starting to drag out and starting to get to me a little bit, but when it's up and running, it's going to be Mickey Mouse. You know, it's going to be state of the art, and it'll be something that everyone will want to come to and have a look at, and yeah. Hopefully we get a couple more trainers come here and work out of the place, so it'll be good.
Bit about yourself. Whereabouts are you from? Because you haven't been to Chibnall, you haven't been in Chibnall for all that long. I'm going to say 5 years, but maybe you're going to correct me?
Yeah, 15 years. 15?
Okay, where were you before that?
I grew up in Ballarat.
Yep.
Learned a bit about the thoroughbreds and with a bloke called Vin Grace, and hung around young Alan Waitman a bit.
Yep.
And then went and worked for Robert Smurden for 7 years out there, and then went to Epsom, worked for John Hawkes for 3 years, and when worked for, because that was when Epsom closed down, then went across to Flemington and worked for Hawksey, Russell Cameron, Clary Connors, and then got burnt out, had 4 years out of the industry. Still hang around with me best mate Adrian Ledger, who died in 2000 and it's 20 years ago, 2005. So just delivered milk for 4 years.
So you say about burnt out. I would imagine you work in different roles and things like that. How hard is it, the thoroughbred game, getting up so early, dark mornings, cold days? How actual hard is it?
That doesn't concern me. That's just getting up's good. It's because you can think. I reckon you think a lot easier in the morning, and get things done. And I enjoy it. But it was just constant, and just everything sort of, because we had 2 kids, and everything was sort of just banking up, and I just put my hands in the air. And actually Wayne Hawkes told me, because I went back and worked for them after I worked for Clary, I went back to work for them, and Wayne pulled me aside one morning and he said, "What the hell are you doing?" Because he said, "You normally take care of everything," and he said, "You're just so, if it happens, it happens, And I said, "Well, what do I do, Wayne?" He said, "Go and get out of the industry and find yourself another job and do something else." So I did. Went and delivered milk for 4 years, so it's good.
And look, I stepped away from the horse game myself there for a period of time too. It's a funny bug. There's not a lot of fun about it, but when you step away, you're like, "Oh yeah, this is great. This is what." But then eventually, there's a few things that you do miss, isn't there, about the game? And I think the most part we all miss is the horses.
Horses and the people. Yeah. I love going to the races and talking to people, and I love quizzing people, just asking questions, and I don't know why, but a lot of people don't think that the top trainers will talk to you, but you go and ask them a question, they'll sit down and talk to you.
Yeah, I love talking to anyone. I know that's what this show's about. But I do enjoy people, and you can learn so much off people. Wayne probably doesn't even remember the conversation he had with you, but sometimes it's those little pushes, and for him to sort of say it was probably obviously it was, because it sticks in your craw. Yeah. And what was that, 15, 16 years ago? Oh no, that'd be 19 years ago by my maths.
Yeah. So it was early 20s, early 2000s, and. It just sticks in my head, who gave me some advice, and it was good advice, because I got out of the industry and then come back, and I've just loved it ever since.
Come back with a different look?
100%. Yep. Yeah, it just was more about us and more about the horse than it was about trying to please everyone.
Yeah. So. And I'd imagine the kids, Leash and Geordie, I would imagine they were possibly changing the way you looked at things as well. They're both great kids, and that you got a smirk on your face. But no, they're always very inviting and things along those lines. I would imagine that part of your life would have been pretty cool back then, delivering milk and spending a bit of time with those two.
Yeah, taking them to kinder and creche and tennis and all that sort of stuff, and then our son come along, and Lachlan, who has nothing to do with the horses, but wants to know what's going on with the horses, but doesn't like them. But that's his joy, and everything was just turned around, and I looked at the industry, both industries, the horse, the thoroughbred and the harness, because I've always had an interest in the harness. Like I love going watching the trots, and so it's just have a different perspective on the whole outlook of things.
So you came back training, and that was always what you were going to do?
No, I didn't come back training. I actually was running a stud here in Chibnall.
Oh yeah.
And for a couple of years, and then I got a call from me little mate Gary Gibb, and he said he was working for Leon Corson's over at Kerrigale at Romsey. And he said, "Can you come and give me a hand for a couple of weeks? A couple of people have gone on holiday." So I was, no worries. 9 months later, I was still there, and Troy gave me a couple of three to pre-train. So we started pre-training here, and then it's all just evolved. So,
was it a dream ever to go out by yourself and train by yourself?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yep.
Yeah, but geez, it's hard.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So this was, you had the itch, but being able to scratch it. We just had a couple of owners that've just left. Getting owners and probably getting the belief that you can do something. But then Troy gives you a few horses, and you're like, well, might as well try it.
Yeah, no, we had a crack. It was just like that gentleman that just left, Macca. He's my latest owner. He's just got him and another owner. I've got Kenny. Kenny dropped him off here one day, and me and Macca got talking. And next minute, Macca's bought one on the internet, and then he's bought another one. So he's got two with us. So it's good. Yeah.
And you say about the burnout and that. Do you still, even now, look at what you do and assess what you're doing potentially a little bit differently? If sometimes I call it the hamster wheel. It's a bit like the tracks we go around round and round in circles sometimes. Do you ever actually stop and reload yourself a bit?
Oh yeah, I have to. I've got 3 kids.
And 2 of them are girls.
Yeah, and 2 of them are girls, and Nadine. There's always an opinion, and there's plenty of opinions being thrown around, but that's if they haven't got an opinion, I ask questions. Why? What's going on? But it's the burnout was glad it happened, but glad I'm back into it. So yeah.
Started training horses. There's a few things. One, how many horses you got in work at the minute?
7.
lucky someone else is beyond. What's the ideal number?
Probably 8.
Yep.
This time of year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Only because I work full time.
Yep.
And any more than that, we struggle to get work of a morning.
Yep.
But probably, maybe if I didn't have a full time job, maybe 10.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where do you work at?
I do soil samples for housing developments and all that sort of thing, yeah. So.
And it works in for you, getting away to races and things along those lines as well. Although I do know the girls are pretty good at that, especially if they're in Melbourne. I think Geordie's pretty happy to go strapping when they're in Melbourne and Dreamtime, but she doesn't like the littler ones. But I'd imagine it's a full-on family affair if you can't get away from work.
Oh, yeah, no. The girls, Nadine's my foreman, so she goes, and Nadine and Alyssa, they go and they can take anything to the races anytime. So, and it doesn't matter where it is, whether it's at Echuca today or at Sandown on Saturday. It's not a drama in the world.
Yeah, and it fits in, and I suppose the Saturdays make it a bit better. You said like the girls take them and they help you in the mornings. They take a fair bit of pride, and it must be good. You had that burnout, and all of a sudden your whole family will be bar one. Although he likes to know what's going on, but he's there. I mean, that may not have happened if you hadn't had the stop and the talk with Wayne Hawkes. That's what they call it, sliding door moments. Sometimes you go one way and should have gone the other.
Yeah, no. Well, I could have went either way, Could have stayed where I was and just potted around and did what I've been doing for the last 20 years, and I'd probably be still there,
Yeah.
But no, it was a good moment, and then the 4 years delivering milk was good too. So yeah.
A few things I want to know. Storm Colours, is that the name of the horse? Or True Colours? Storm Colours it was. Where does that come from? Because you've rattled everything off, and so far the way I'm looking at it, you're a proud Victorian. I don't know any other side to it. So where does the Melbourne Storm, of course, is where the Storm Colours come from, and your colours are purple, white, and gold.
Original Melbourne Storm colours.
Yeah. So where does that all come from?
I got dragged to the rugby one night when I was working for Hawksies by a couple of New Zealand boys and a couple of Queenslanders, and loved it ever since. Yeah, we're members at Melbourne Storm, and my old owner Leon, bless his heart, he died a couple of years ago. He said when we bought the black horse, he said he watched the Melbourne Storm game and he watched Sully Vanavalu run down, and that's how he got his name, because he's big and black, and he just named him after Sully. So Storm's colours.
Yeah, and that's our
racing colours. So yeah. So
he was a good horse player.
He still is. Yeah, he's come back. He's had the longest spell he's ever had. He had 8 weeks out, and Alyssa and Ash Thompson ride work for me, and they're both saying that he's the best he's ever been. So
when does he step out?
No, he did his first piece of more serious work this morning on the course proper here at Chibnall.
So he'd be a little way away?
Yeah, a little way, probably a month, and we'll jump out and then have a couple of jump outs, and then we'll look for a race. So.
How hard is it to get horses like him into the barn, and then when you do get them, how hard is it to keep them?
It's sort of... I was lucky because Leon... He'd just put his hand in his pocket and buy one or two at the yearling sale. So we bought him and Rainbow at the same sales at the Vobus Gold sale. Paid $10,000 for her and $22,000 for him. So Leon bought them and then we syndicated them. So that was good that way because I had the backing of Leon, and then we always kept a share. So pardon me. No, it's. Well, I haven't had any trouble. So. Yeah.
Because you're a pretty down-to-earth sort of person. I would imagine you're pretty much like that when you're talking to your owners, aren't you?
Yeah, I just I try not to bullshit a bullshitter. So, we just tell them how it is, and if they don't like it, well, they they grin and bear it, and if they don't like it, well, I don't know what they can do or what they can't do, but if the horse is no good, well, it's no good, is it?
You love the game. Why do you love the game? Can you actually put a hand on? I'll give you a bit of think time here for a sec. But it's one of those ones I always find a little bit fascinating when I ask people, what is it about the game that you actually love?
I love the people in the game, and I love what the game. I know that the lows can be real low. Like there's probably no, it can be real low, but the highs are just phenomenal, Like even winning a maiden at, like the Dave DK one at, his maiden at Pakenham was supposed to be here, but they got transferred to Pakenham. The joy on new owners' faces was it's just something to behold, and you just cherish those moments,
And I imagine then when you get that moment by yourself driving home or rugging him up or something like that, you get that same sort of relived buzz, albeit not quite as high as what it is when you're at the races. But you do get to relive it a few times, don't you?
Oh, especially when the kids put it on replay. So it's good, yeah. But it's sort of something that never leaves you.
Yeah.
Like it's just, like once you've had that, you want more.
Yeah.
And that's probably the thing that I always want. I want to better myself, better the horses, and bring the kids and that with me, so on that journey.
Yeah, no, I actually love that. It's cool. One thing I want to point out to people too, no mention of the punts or pulling off a big punt and things like that. I think it's one of the bad parts of our game that too many people drive it down that direction and saying about big punts. Enjoy it if you can do it, but that's not what you love about it.
No. Like we've had a couple of like goes at the horses, and one of them come off, but it's not as good as looking at my daughter and that when we win a race and all the hard work that nobody sees. here at Kilmore on a wet and woolly, Thursday morning. Nobody sees that side of it, but we see it, and the joy on their faces when it all comes to a head when they get the money. It's good.
I love that answer. I think it's the right answer too, which is, I think so many people lose sight of it. We get it a bit pear-shaped. You're surrounded by trotting, whether you like to admit it or not. Mitchell Frost on one side, and then Geordie Chibnall, daughter, going great guns, not scared to travel and things like that. You said there before you enjoy the trots. Have you ever thought about training one?
I've trained them.
Oh, have you?
Yeah. I had my trainer's licence in Ballarat when I was 18.
You didn't tell me that before.
Never got one to the races. Had one set up to go to the races, and he kicked the wall and smashed his hock. And that was on the Sunday after Ballarat trials. Used to be Sunday morning then. And the Sunday afternoon went back to the stables, and he's smashed his hock. And the Tuesday morning, all my gear was in the Ballarat Courier for sale.
And so you never want to go back training one?
I've been back. Yeah. Trevor Rout had a little horse called, what was his name, Bella? Extremely Efficient.
Yep.
And Rita had him, and Trevor had him, and I said, give me... Oh, no, Trevor went to Canada for 3 months. And I had an interview here one day with Kylie Harrison and got my licence back. And there was a race at Maryborough where you had the 2 heats in the second and third race, and then
Astle?
No, Maryborough.
Was it Maryborough?
Yeah, and then there was 2 more races. The same horses ran later on. Yeah, and then they qualified for the final, which was 10 days later, and he ran second in the first one, won the second one, and then ran third in the final.
Right.
Yeah, so, we didn't give him many starts. We only gave him half a dozen starts, so, yeah.
But you enjoy the harness? I mean, obviously you enjoy following the kids and the horses that they've got, but you actually enjoy the harness as well?
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, I reckon it's fantastic. It's different, because you're sitting behind them and you get a bit of think time. Yeah. So.
Did you think George would get to where she is now? Like I actually can remember one day at Lisa Miles's place. It's funny the things you remember. She still had her pyjama pants on because she just couldn't be bothered getting changed and things like that. And now she's going great guns. Yeah,
no, she's she needed to get away though. Yep. Like I watched her at Warragul one day, and she had 2 drives, and she just going around for the fun of it, Yep. Well, not the fun of it, just going around, and then she had to get away, and then when she went to Tassie, it sort of made her, yeah. Not only as a driver, but as a person too, because it toughened her up. Yep. Like it made her into the tough, competitive beast she is now. So yeah.
Yep. She goes all right, and Mitch doesn't go too bad on the training ranks either.
He goes all right.
Yeah, we won't give him too much of a plug. He gets a big head. He'll get himself out of control. Tone, thank you. What are your goals? Do you have any goals you do?
Yeah, no, I haven't trained a winner in town yet. Even though the girls tell me that Rainbill won. Yeah, I trained a stakes winner. Rainbill won the Black Opal at Black Pearl at Geelong on Geelong Cup Day, and they reckon it's a Melbourne winner, but it's not at Caulfield, Flemington, Moonee Valley or Sandown. So I want to win that, and I reckon DK or I've got a couple of nice horses here at the moment. I reckon can go to town. So
rattle them off. A couple of the nicer ones people might want to follow.
DK's he's a very good horse. I reckon he's the best horse I've had. He's just come back into work. Yep. And he goes good. Storm's Colours, of course. We've got a new little horse called Chocolate Isle, who will have a jump out at Bendigo on Monday. Yep. And got a nice 2-year-old. And got another horse bought for us last week called Annotate. So we've got some starting to get some nice horses around us. So
Do you have a preference? Do you like the tried horses or the younger horses, or do you have a preference of horse?
well, it depends if I can gallop.
Fast ones. Is that the preference? As long as I can go quick.
No, I love doing the babies.
Yep.
'Cause we got what have we got, Bella? A couple of babies getting broken in up at Shawnee Islands now.
Yep.
We've got a Blue Point that we paid 30,000 for at the yearling sales at the Bovis Gold, and we've got a I'm Immortal that Trevor Rao
Yep.
bought at the online. So they're up there getting broken in now. So I love the babies because they're just so unpredictable, and you don't know what you got. So yeah.
Tone, thank you. Really appreciate you chime in a lot on a lot of the shows I do, and it's the only way I can grow the product. I want to grow horse product. I think you guys are pretty good sort of stamp on that, especially now that you've even trained trotters as well. But yeah, I think it's cool. You're up here at Hunts Road at Chibnall. You're coming up for probably the hardest month, I would imagine, of training here at Chibnall. The shortest day is not far off, and the couple of weeks after that get a bit tiring, but then the sun starts to come out a bit more and it gets a little bit easier, so it is a bit hard, but a little bit easier. But no, I really do appreciate it. Campbell's comments can't grow without feedback, and you're always happy to get involved as well with the show, so I do appreciate it, mate, and good luck with your horses.
Thanks, Paul. Too easy.